wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I do every day in my classroom. It is basically a technology, project-based learning, service learning merge all in one. And I have here in my just basic information, my Twitter at Miss Shu is a great way to go to all the stuff that I post. You can also go and get my website from there. The QR code in the bit.ly is my website, which a lot of the resources I'm going to be talking about today are on that website. So even if you don't have access today, I would at least jot down that small one so that you can have access to that afterwards. And then also Google Classroom, just a hashtag, that's what we use in our classroom on a day-to-day basis. And I will speak a little bit more into that as I go on. And just so you have a feel for what I'm going to be talking about, this is my class website that is posted on there with the QR code and everything. This website is, yes, I found the programming and the one that was best used and the great reviews of it all, but it's a place for my kids and I to learn together on how to develop it. So right off the bat in 4th grade, they were learning about web development without me even planning that in my lesson plans. We wanted to post pictures. We wanted to post all of our upcoming events and things up here. And so it's a small group with me on the carpet with kids and my laptop, and I'm like, okay, try to figure out how to put a picture on there. And they're doing it. So it's those little small learnings that come into place, which I think is going to help them way later in life when they go ask for a job and they need to know all that up front. But they get the big kick out of it. And actually, on this front page, I was really trying to figure out how to get a Facebook post up on there, and I was struggling, and one of my students came up to me and he was like, oh, Ms. Schumann, I've got this. Add the picture, put the link on, then you do this, and it was there in 2 seconds. And instead of me wasting my time after school trying to do it, allowing that student to go in and just try it helped me out, and also he got that kind of accomplishment and felt good about it and was able to do it, which I thought was incredible. So little things. Today's meet, if you have not already heard of it, or if you have, in my experience, today's meet can be a very basic texting room for kids and have that fun. But if you put down those parameters and say, hey, this is what we're doing today, and I want to see thoughtful reflections and everything, you get a lot out of them. We have also found out that you can post in links to sites or links to pictures. Those kind of things have kept coming around to where their exploration has allowed me to see so much more of what a program can do. In my experience as a teacher, I am very fortunate in the district that I work in. I will put that out there right now. I am a 1-to-1 iPad ratio for students, 1-to-1 MacBooks. We have it all. But I started out where we didn't have it all, and I had to learn how to make it work using the iPads, using MacBooks with just one, maybe one for a day, and we didn't have it the next day. And I just want to let you know it's possible. It is possible to have these experiences if you allow it. If you talk to your administration and talk to people and say, hey, can my kids at least bring their phones in and it will be strictly educationally used, you'll find that it works that way. So don't get discouraged by what I'm saying, being like, oh, she has this, she can do it. Trust me, I have been down that road where you don't have it at all and it can still work and have that accessibility. But here with the 4 C's that I'm sure we're all pretty much aware with, the collaboration, communication, creative thinking, and critical thinking, I kind of spin all that down to my educational technology. Instead of just writing a spiral writing, that's them kind of communicating and reflecting, doing their critical thinking, and instead of them putting it just on a poster board for their creativity, I'm allowing them to choose whatever avenue they want to do within the technology to develop that demonstration and that celebration of what they've worked with. And it was really hard at first because they were like, well, what are the rules? What do you want me to do? How many pages do you want me to write? And I'm like, I don't care. I think it's really hard as a teacher to say, I don't care, And that was my biggest part at first, was just being like, I'm kind of OCD, and I like structure. And it was hard for me at first to just say, do it. Just go and explore, and whatever you come up with, I'm sure is going to be fabulous and also way better than what you expected in the first place. And so in my classroom, we use iPads. I have a new technology, Google Glass, which is all from grants and awards and money given to me. So Google Glass and those things are possible if you reach out and ask for it. Website development, like I was talking to you about, and social media with Twitter, Tumblr, Evernote, all those. So, on a daily basis, we are constantly learning, developing through service experiences within technology. So, first day in my classroom, I ask the kids, go explore. I give them a kind of a parameter, since they're fourth graders, parameters of what websites are appropriate to look at. But I want to see what their passion is. What are they wanting to learn? So by giving them these websites, they're able to go on, take online quizzes, email me their responses, or have other avenues of sending me things, and we can kind of narrow it down to what they're interested in. Because I feel like passion, they're the change makers in our world. The kids are the ones that are going to do more. They're going to change it. So I better have a passion for them. And so in this picture here, one of my students is on his iPad at his desk just exploring. He's just looking through, trying to figure out what he's passionate about, whether it's helping the homeless or war veterans or whatever it may be, and we can collaborate through that. One of the ways that I found out last year worked really well, and it's kind of an older program, but it's still just constantly changing. It's called Padlet. It's an online. You can do it through computer, iPad. Have not tried it on the iPhone, but I wouldn't see why it wouldn't work. Any type of Android device. And basically what it is a ongoing, infinite page. You can go on for days. Just keep scrolling. Where students, people, family members, community members can go on and post, if they have the link, and post to whatever question or topic you have available up there. So in this case, I know it's really hard to read, but on this case, they were answering and asking questions about cancer awareness and what it meant to them and who was affected in their life about it. And then we went from there to figure out where are we going to hone in and help out our community with it. But this is, to me, the reflection aspect. They started off in their writer's notebook, working on their grammar and actually handwriting it out, talking with a neighbor about it. And once they felt comfortable with that in the writer's notebook is when they went to the online to post it. And unfortunately, not on this page here, but you can add videos, you can add pictures to it, you can add voice recording to it. There's a lot of different avenues within Padlet to make it more than just I'm going to type out my response. So it could be a voice blogging, it could be a picture collage, it could be I found a video that represents what I was just talking about, and I'm going to upload it there too. So it is a more of a presentation aspect for the kids, and they get excited about it. It's way better than just writing in a spiral and saying, where should I turn it in? So this is their turn-in aspect. I know this is kind of cliche, and we all hear about it all the time, but Google Docs changes my life on a day-to-day basis. I am able to ask questions, give them an assignment, whatever it may be. And if they don't have an iPad right then and there, they can go home and do it as homework. All they need is their Gmail account. That's all they need. And then I'm able to see it's kind of already organized for me, so I can map out and see where each child's kind of point of view is. I'm able to highlight and kind of look around. And also, what I've done before this, in that left column before it says who I am, who am I? There was a list of names. And all I did is take that names out. And what I like to do in my classroom as well is post this up for the kids to read as a whole group. I can even chirp it out, send it to the kids, email it to them. And they can read everyone else's responses, which then provides an even more ongoing, on-flowing conversation of what others are thinking. And I found that to be very beneficial from just a simple Google Doc of typing in a response that kind of develops into more. And I guess I should preface this. These first few slides I'm showing you is kind of the beginning of my stages. These are the first few things I do within a service project. Definitely I have them as implementation in the end, but these kind of lead up to our bigger process and programs that we do. And then actually, let me show you. So here within my Google Drive here is I share this 60 Kids and Counting with they came up with that name. We had a contest of what our group should be called, and they said 60 Kids and Counting. And on here, they're able to share, and so I'll post presentations for them to view, and they can go back and respond to it and reflect to it. So we were reading this book. This is, if you have not heard of this book, have not seen it, I highly, highly recommend you picking up a copy. It's called How Many Does It Take to Make a Difference? 1. And inside of it, there's inspirational quotes. There are stories about people going through hardships. And we use this on a daily basis to reflect and to answer questions. So I basically pull different things. Yes, this page right here is just 4 basic questions. I could easily take this and say, hey, go write these in your spiral. But instead I put them on a presentation, added some pictures to it, and then gave them the opportunity to answer questions however they felt necessary. Whether it was spiral writing, whether it was a voice recording, whether they wanted to do a selfie and record themselves saying it, it was up to them in that case. But it's questions that I think are very crucial for all kids to think about before we start that service project. Because you have to really think about who are you helping and what are we helping, and these bigger questions help drive that. So that's basically what we do there. Another few things that I also have, you have the option to do voting or quizzes within Google Docs. And the only reason I should have a sponsor for Google. I think they're awesome. With that, you can then, I must have taken it off, get all the answers. It's basically like a quiz for you on a nice little spreadsheet, and you can see what kid voted for what choices, and it's all nicely lined out for you. So I love it. Back to this, I'm glad this kind of spiraled into. This is the book I was talking about, How Many Does It Take to Make a Difference? And basically, I've just started from page 1 and began reading. We have conversations one-on-one. We have kids going off and doing projects together. And also, this was one of my favorite ones because spur of the moment, we came to this page, how many does it take to make a difference? And I asked them to create their own. One caterpillar blooms into a butterfly. $1 can save a life. And from this, we used an app called Spark, which I know is on all the iOS devices. Pretty sure Android has it as well from the last time I researched that. But this is just a cool way of, if you use iMovie way too much, or if you use any type of filming, this was a cool thing because I was able to let the children create it, and they loved it. So you can add different themes in the background, different music to the background to make it a little bit more exciting and presentable. Let's see if this will work for me.
One bee will make a jar of honey. One spark will light up the dark.
One fire can light up a town.
One song can make fame.
One athlete can make a team.
One penny can save a child's life. One dog can change a family.
So, very short and sweet, but from that, they were able to, they did it all themselves, And it was an app to where you don't have to record one, stop it, record another, stop it, and then combine them all together. The app allows you just to record, next person in, record again, and it's all there ready for you. It's just a movie already made. And so it's easy, it's quick, and it comes up with some great results. We wanted to add music to it, but they had a disagreement and couldn't decide which song to do. So we just left it without anything on this one. I've also say that I have some great videos of my cat using this app. It's pretty fun. So definitely recommend this one. So also talked a little bit about the apps and the iPad, but another great thing, and I know technology is constantly changing, but I have been blessed to have an opportunity to work with Youth Service America and a few other companies, State Farm, getting some grants in my classroom. And one of the opportunities that I was allowed to do was purchase one of the new technologies, Google Glass. I don't know if y'all have heard of Google Glass, but basically it is a one-size-fits-all computer, pictures, and you basically just wear it. And inside my classroom, obviously I would not go out in public like this because that's just not how I am, but in the classroom, I'm able to wear this. I'm able to record videos without any student knowing it. And to me, it's so much more real. The kids, because I know that sometimes when you have a camera out and you're filming it, they're like, "Hi, Miss Schumann," and waving to it, and that's not what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get that authentic, what's happening on a day-to-day basis. So in this picture you see here, Reed in the blue shirt, he is wearing the Google Glass, and he is able to participate with his classmates. He's able to be in the garden, which is our service project this year, and participate and talk with his peers and hear what his peers are saying without anyone being like, "Okay, pull the camera back," or kind of interrupting his experience. And that way, when I go back and look at it, the class goes back and look at it, we can see those real moments, what's really happening, and then to take that and reflect on it. How can we do this better next time? How can we not have an argument within a project that we're doing together? How can we save that or kind of work together? Because it's been very interesting to see what actually goes in with their work when I'm off doing something else. So I'll show you a video from this in a second of what we've kind of created from the Google Glass. But this project, just so you have an idea before I dive into it, this project that we're doing last year is my students came up to me and said, "Why are our special needs friends always in the hallway 200? Like, we never see them. Why is that?" And I was trying to explain to them, they know I have a special ed background, master's program, and so I was trying to explain to them all these different reasons why, and they were like, "Well, that just doesn't make any sense. If they want to be in the community, they should be with us." And so that's kind of where everything spun from. So they wanted our friends with disabilities to be with us as much as possible. So we came together and decided that a garden would be a great place to do that. And so you'll see in the yellow shirts, there's one of my students, Ryan, who has Down syndrome, and he has been just a life changer in our classroom. He really has taken the service project to a whole new level, and being able to incorporate not only technology, but incorporate a service project and include those children that are usually pushed aside, unfortunately, it has been eye-openers. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing. So, through the eyes of a student is basically Google Glass. Like I said before, in that picture down where he's working on the table making a salad, he's able to be just doing what he normally does without having to worry about hands on a camera, leaving it somewhere, breaking it, and he's also exploring. Took us about an hour and a half to figure out how to actually record properly on this thing, and I could see his frustration, but the second he got it, it was just like, "Okay, Ms. Schumann, go away. I don't want you here anymore. I want to figure it out myself," which was really neat for me. Kind of sad, but neat for me. I think that, yes. So with that video, I'm hoping I have one pulled up here for us. I think I do. So this video that I'm about to show you is first day. Child has the Google Glass on, and I just want you to see what can come out of it. And I think the reason I'm showing you this is that I think teachers around the world should have a pair. I don't think every student should have a pair at all. I think 20 kids with Google Glass on would be way too much. But the experiences I've seen so far, and to be able to look back on an experience and see what actually went on in the classroom, and then to go back and reflect on that, incredible. So I'm going to show a short clip it. It's kind of hard to hear the boy who's actually wearing them, but it's very interesting to see what he's seeing. So that's kind of what I want to show you.
Guys, so this is a different type of seed. This one's round. So let's pass those around. Hey, around.
I found a really big one.
What? Yeah, we got one. Looks cool.
Take a picture of it.
Which one? You pick that one. We found a really big one right here. Really?
Yeah, that one's a really big one.
Don't pull it. Don't pull it.
Once you pull one, let a few others come over there.
Okay.
One as well.
Yeah, that one looks really
And one more from the really big one from over there.
Look at that. It's taped from the bottom.
That's okay.
That looks like it came
And
out.
so here they're harvesting the lettuce that we have grown all year. And he's sitting here just being able to work without having to put down anything, and is just getting a real experience of what's going on.
Broccoli, or do you want to?
Guys,
Should we save some for the next salad group? Like next week? Is it going to stay, or? Yeah. I mean, do you want? I don't.
How much? You might want to get
How
that.
fast does it grow back? I don't know. Well, maybe
Take
let's
it from the
actually
bottom.
have an experiment.
Oh, okay.
Leave that guy.
Wait, so we're supposed to pick this?
All right.
We pick all
Okay, we're
from
gonna
this.
So, I've also had, yes sir, do you have a question? Okay, so his question was, where could other people get those glasses, or teachers get those glasses? Right now is a great opportunity for any teachers or students, I would say, to contact Google. If you go onto Google Glasses website, they have a program right now where they're opening it up to people to try them out. And yes, they are expensive, but there are a multitude of ways to get funded for it. Even Google has funding for it, scholarships for it. I honestly don't think it's going to be as expensive once they actually go out on the market, because there are some flaws with it and everything, but I wouldn't be discouraged by the price, because I was able to go and ask someone for $1,000 and I was handed it. I was like, I want to be in a classroom, I want to do this, and they were said, great, here you go. So there are people out there kind enough to say, if you want to do this, make it happen. So I wouldn't be discouraged on that. It's a great question, though. This experience, obviously, it was very positive and everything. I also have some videos where I have a student saying some not great things, like in the background, but it was a great learning tool for me to pull him aside and be like, hey, let me show you this video I just recorded of you, and he was just shocked. It was just like, oh my gosh, you caught me, basically. So there's these good and bad moments, but also it's all learning. It's a whole learning process. And through this, where'd it go? Within my presentation here, I've added a couple more apps. I had talked about Spark. iMovie is a pretty basic one, but I always like the kids to present to me somehow what they're learning from the garden. So whether they forget to bring out their iPads to the garden to take pictures or videos or what it might be, there's still other ways through voice or through writing to demonstrate what's happening out there. And same with Socrative, so creative, some people call it. It is basically an online quiz student clicker where I can ask questions, take quizzes, poll the kids. Very easy. It's easy. You can use it on your iPhone, iPad, that I know of. And just a look through my year so far. Well, I guess this started back in December on this one. But we decided after the kids had their interest in students with special needs of what we could do. So we started out by creating a garden from scratch. And all these pictures that you see are taken by students, whether it's their iTouch they brought in, their iPhone they brought in, an iPad, even a camera they brought from home. Everything you see here is from them. And in some of the pictures, I don't know if I can zoom in on these. You will see in the background, he has his spiral plus his iPad. He has his spiral, so it's all choice-based. If you don't want to bring your iPad out today, you don't have to. But if you want to come out and write, go for it. So it's very, like I said before, let them do it. Don't give rules to it. Just say, hey, here's your experience. Pick what you want to do today, but all I want in return is some type of reflection or response after. And from this is the spark I told you about. The power of inclusion in service learning. Again, all these pictures are taken from my students experiencing the time they have with their peers with disabilities. And here, this book that I was talking about, there's a link here to that book. And also, I've found out too that there are a multitude of resources out there, such as just nonfiction books for children or teenagers that go to what you're talking about. So there's a book called Out of My Mind, who deals with a student with disabilities. And we read it from start to finish and had just this amazing result about kids' reflections and thoughts and processes from it. And that's what kind of drove them to say, hey, let's go out and take just individual pictures of our friends gardening. We don't want to be in the pictures. We just want to have them there. And so we did that. We said, hey, let's go out to the garden. And the kids were out there almost doing a documentary of their students. And that's their end result this year, is they want to create an inclusion-based documentary to say that all kids are included. And the video is going to be all by them. We're going to present it to the board and the special ed department and hopefully get it higher up to where we can show that to the rest of the community. I'll show that if I have some time. But this is right here. You can zoom out a little bit. This is a view of actually what it looks like through glass. The big picture here is just what's happening through my eyes, basically. And then that right-hand corner is it's not that big, obviously. It's really little of what is recording or what's being taken pictures of. So the kid's able to see, okay, that's what I'm recording. Maybe I should move my head or get some more interaction with another kid. But I thought that was really neat. And this is a huge part of our day is social media. Being able to tell the community what we are doing on a daily basis. And also for parents to go and say, what are you exactly doing? They can go on and check out what we're doing. I have created an account just for my classroom at Google Classroom for where they can go on and post whenever they like to. I just have my iPad set up. I don't allow them to go off on their individual iPads. I know older students, you probably could allow them to just log on to the account, but for the younger ones, I have my account set up. They go to my iPad and type in what they want to type in for the day. It's up to them if they want to participate or not. Some days, some people want to type in 70 things, and others it's just like, not today. Here are some of the things. I've also put them up on here too, just some quotes. For instance, they quote or they tweet out, "It has changed my life by seeing our friends learn how to plant things and how they can learn something new from the garden. It also helps our friends to socialize and make new friends when we are in the garden." And I just think this is a great part of the reflection aspect of the whole service learning process. And it kind of is also their demonstration as well. Here I'm showing you what's happening throughout the process. And our future in the garden, I'm hoping it will get done before the school year's up. But we're learning what it takes to make a successful farmer's market. In the area I live in Austin, very Whole Foods headquarters. It's very natural and everything. And they were so excited to be a part of that. They're like, we have so much lettuce and everything. We should do that too. And so we're hoping to help join forces with Whole Foods, see if they will come on board with us and give us some materials and come to our school to help us build this. But again, these pictures are either taken by one of my students with the Google Glass on, or they are taking them themselves. And just to be able to see that real interaction, I think technology has a big impact in that area. To show not only, hey, it's happening, but then to go back and show the children, hey, you really are making a difference. You are changing the life of others. Because sometimes I know that we take a bunch of pictures and they just end up on our phone, or they go off and disappear or something. So this is a great way to just document it on a website for everyone to see, tweet it out to people, and that's how you get your exposure. I think that's a huge part of it, is sharing it with others. Send it to your superintendent. Send it to your principal. Send it to everyone that you're involved with so that they know what you are doing. So, Wix is the website. Wix is the easiest website I have found development-wise because there are a lot of different options, and that's what we've been using. My students enjoy it because there's a lot of different themes. It's easy to add in any type of YouTube media. Up at the top here, I have added in, I'll have to make it smaller. You can allow yourself to share it, Facebook like, download things on iTunes from it. So the kids like that aspect of saying, oh, we should make a Facebook page and post it on here, and then that's double exposure. So they're getting that whole idea of if you start exposing yourself, others will hear about it and know about it. And that's actually one of the ways we got our Google Glass, was the exposure. People heard about it, and that's how it came about. So, and then I will show you on one more thing, our social media. We have at Google Classroom. I also showed you I had the at Miss Shu. But this is where the students are adding in their things. And it's also really interesting how quick they are about hashtags and everything. They were like, wait, is there a hashtag for service learning? And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure there is, but make one. Like, you can just start one. So those types of conversations of how can we get ourselves out there and show what we're doing all comes from the student's perspective. And here is one down here where they added a picture from one of the ones they took, and they quoted out, I've never liked the outside, but now I do. I think since all of us are helping, we can get the job done a lot faster. And then they quoted, or no, they just put in a picture from that. So little moments like that that take 30 seconds for a kid to type out before they leave the room, or maybe first thing in the morning, it's a great kind of building, showing the kids what's also happening in the world today, where we're headed as a generation. So hopefully it's helping them in that aspect. If you do have just one iPad, one iPhone, and you have any type of Dell, MacBook, any type of computer, being able to show students what's going on the iPad or their iPad and being able to reflect it back. I have a program at school where it's easy to just plug it in, but some people have difficulty wanting to view it, show others what's going on. And there's a program called Reflector. And Reflector allows you to take whatever you're viewing and put it up for others to see. And it is, may not have it ready for me, but it's called Reflector, and it's great because basically what will be happening is if you see my cat up there, if I had anything going on up here, it would just shoot up onto the screen. I'm not able to do it with the connection I have right now, but if you're having difficulty saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to show my kids what I'm doing on my iPad, there are ways around that, and Reflector is probably the best one I have found. So I will tell you that I've had a passion ever since I graduated, and I think it's very important for students to have this opportunity to give back. And I'm crossing my fingers every year. I'm hoping for a push of new teachers. I will say, though, I had a kind of an aha moment last week when a kindergarten teacher asked me if her class could come out and observe and take part in it. So I think it's just one step at a time. Even my district, I think I'm the only one in my district doing any type of service projects. So, and it was also kind of I told you so when I got to be asked to come present here and everything. I was like, see, I'm doing good things. It's worth it. It's good for them to do.